Hey guys, this is Julian from the Binary Lab and Forex Lab, and I'm wearing the shirt that you've seen me wear for years, like throughout the hundreds of videos on this channel. So anyways, I wanted to give you guys all a shout out, and I want to give a shout out especially to those folks out there who have been contacting me. Like there's several of you who I've spoken to. Some of you drive like trucks and buses, part-time or full-time. Hey there, how's it going, Abdo? And some people out there, in fact, many people, they drive like Grab, Uber, Ryde, Gojek, all right? So I think Uber started out in the States and became across the world like a phenomenon. But in Asia right now, Grab is kind of big. And then in Singapore, Malaysia, there's other company, in Indonesia, there's other company, Gojek. Basically, they're all kind of the Uber model where they kind of compete with the mainstream taxis to give you a better value for money. So while these kind of driving companies, yes, exactly. Abdo, that's exactly why I'm talking about this video, because I want to, help you guys decide, or rather, I'm going to be giving you answers and questions to help you decide what is more suitable for you. So I've gotten a chance to speak to some people in Facebook ever since I started, asking people a message to my personal profile. And by the way, if you have sent me a message on Facebook and I haven't replied, it means that I didn't receive it. So could you send me a friend request also? I know my friends list is quite limited, but if you send me a friend's request, if I go to your profile and I click the message tab, then the messages will magically appear. So I think it's a Facebook glitch. It could be temporary. So yeah, if you have questions, yeah, you can also type here, and I'll answer on this video once I finish the stuff that I want to talk about as well. Hey there, Asman. So if any questions that's relating to this topic or any other thing as well, I mean, if anyone watching this video right now is into driving part-time or even like full-time, maybe it started out as a part-time thing, but you found out that driving for Grab, Uber, Ryde, Lyft, and all these things started making you more money. You quit your main job to do this part-time because it gives you more flexibility, right? Hey there, Alex. And then after some time, maybe you start to wonder that after working all these 12-hour days, I mean, it's great. It's instant gratification because maybe like you used to get only $10 an hour in your job, but suddenly all these people, they're having the ability to get $20 an hour, $30 an hour, regardless of which part of the world. So I mean, like if in the US, maybe you're getting $30-40 an hour. If you're in Singapore, that could be about 25-30 Singapore dollars. If you're in Malaysia, maybe you're earning the same amount of ringgit. If you're in somewhere like Thailand, you're getting about maybe like 300 baht an hour, which is not bad. It's better than the regular cab drivers, and it's better than most office workers out there. But as it goes on, it starts getting very addictive because you start to take on more jobs, and your days go longer and longer. What started out as a 4 hours part-time became 6 hours, became 8 hours. And I know this very well because one of my good friends, at one point in time, he was going through a tough patch in his career. He's also an internet marketer, and now I'm glad to see that he's finally moved on as well. But there was a period of time, where his idea wasn't really working out, and just to make ends meet, he had to drive in the night, and basically, didn't even have a chance to sleep. He would just basically sleep in the car. So I had a couple people last few days truck driving, interstate truck driving, bus driving. Some people doing long shifts as a Uber, Ryde, Lyft, Gojek driver, and asked me like, I'm looking into getting to trading. What should I do, right? Because as if first and foremost, like, do you already know what path you want to take? Do you want to take the Forex path? You want to take the binary path? And then they said to me, one recent guy said to me, I don't really know. I'm kind of new to this, but I'm just so tired with my job. I mean, I'm getting good money as a driver, but I feel that I'm trading my time for money. And in the spare time that I have, I'm hoping that I could replace part of this. I mean, I'm still going to keep driving, but I replace part of this with trading, and that will be great. Then I'll have more time with my family, more time with my kids, and blah blah blah. So I told the guy it's kind of hard to say because it varies from person to person. Yeah, Abdul, yes, I will get to that question. I mean, how do you make money from binary options forex? Okay, so let me just talk about the most basic things. All right, it really depends, and but I suspect for most people, I would say that for most of the people who drive, binary option may not be such a good idea. Okay, it may not be such a good idea, but it depends. Okay, now let's compare the two different things. Well, this is the Binary Lab channel, so I'm obviously not going to rubbish the own industry that I'm in. But at the same time, it varies from individual, and let me tell you why that is the case. Because um, binary option is a little bit like what you do when you drive. You're exchanging time for money. So binary option trades are all very short. They're between 30 seconds and 5 minutes. Some trades can be longer, like 30 minutes, 1 hour. But I don't think you'll be making those because when you are driving and you want to do trading as a part-time, you probably want to take advantage of some spare moments where you just don't feel like, driving the steering wheel. You want to escape from the sun. You want to let your right calf, have a break from all that pedal control and the clutch control. And you're probably looking to just, sit in some cafe or in a car park, just take out your mini computer and make a couple of trades and be done with it. So binary option is high profit. If you compare binary and forex, binary is extremely profitable, but it is not easy for everyone to be profitable. Not because it's difficult, but it's because of personality. Not everyone has the right personality and makeup to do it. It is not high risk, and let me correct you on that. It is not high risk because you can also choose to trade 1% per trade, 2% per trade. But the problem is that in binary option, because it is so easy to make a trade, all it takes is to click the higher or lower button, and you're easily able to just copy the settings from the previous trade. And on some brokers, there's even like functions where you can click times 2 times 2. So the problem with binary is that it's so convenient to overtrade. And overtrade is something that will happen even to the best of traders because all it takes is for you to kind of slip your mind. All it takes when you slip your mind, when you won 5 trades straight and suddenly you lose 1 trade, and you're like, damn it, I was just about to show my friends my perfect trading record for today, being 100% win, and now I screwed it up. So, or like, I was already at 10% profit for today in 5 trades, but now it's gone down to 8%, and I cannot live with that for myself. So this is usually the thing that makes people kind of lose it, and then they will start to overtrade and they get bothered. Sometimes they forget that maybe the market condition is not there anymore, and it's really like that. So coming back to this topic, binary and forex. Okay, binary is very high profit. You can easily make 5 to 10% per day. Anyone with basic discipline can make 5 to 10% per day without a big capital risk. Okay, and as a matter of fact, I would recommend if someone is starting on binary, you don't need to start with a lot of money. Depending on what's your local currency like, starting out with 200 for someone in Southeast Asia could be good. In Singapore, obviously cost of living is high. If you're in Singapore, you want to start with 500 or 1,000 because then only you can make money that makes sense for the time that you put into trading. If you live in the United States, 500 or 1,000 as well. If you live in Europe, around that range. But so I would generally say that for most people, 500 or 1,000 is a very good amount to start with binary. But in Forex, if you want to make similar gains to what this binary account of $500 or $1,000 can make, in Forex, you actually need about 10 times as much money, especially if you're doing automated trading. Why? Because automated trading, although it's automated, but in exchange for the automation and freedom that you get, you also need to give the automated trading system a little bit of buffer. Like you can think of buffer as, you know, like uh, in office they always have something called the petty cash, right? The petty cash drawer. So it's like the little bit itty bitty expenses that have to always go on. The basic, you know, you see, it's like if you work a job, this is your gas money, your lighting money. It's the basic things that you have to be spending. So if you're on a, you know, if you are looking to do forex, I'm saying that your starting capital is higher. And okay, which one is forex? Is more like letting your time work for. It's better leveraging your time. Binary, you're exchanging time for money. So you're over there, you're clicking, you click, you win. That's it. Forex, you spot certain trends, um, or either you go with the trend, you go against the trend, and then you basically you place your trade. Um, Forex is a little bit different from binary because I mean there'll always be a standardized trading. I mean the previous trade setting will be there, but sometimes, you know, one moment you're trading on a very short term chart, a short trade that you plan to get out within the 1 hour. The setting for that trade is definitely going to be very different from another trade that you previously did that's going to be for 3 days. So in my group, when people take forex trades, I train them to calculate every trade size properly based on the stop loss, based on the currency pair, and this takes time. It can take you a minute to get all these done if you are new and you're slow, or maybe your screen is small and it's not so easy to navigate. But in binary, it's very convenient. That's why I say that, you know, because it's so convenient, it's very easy for people to screw up. Now we look at these things. Like I was telling the guy who was he said, oh, well, I mean that the kind of return sounds good, but what kind of problem or discipline are you talking about? So I said, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. It's like all it takes is that you're in a bad mood, or maybe, you know, that day you're on edge or you're tired, and which can be the case. If you're driving, you can be tired, right? Um, so imagine if you told yourself, okay, today I'm driving Uber or Grab or Ryde or whatever, Gojek, and then we decided to take a break at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. today, market is great. Okay, awesome. Tomorrow, market may not be the same. Maybe tomorrow the market will be good at 4, good at 5, or good at 9 p.m. Every day is different. It's hard to say. So it's very, very important. It's like I see that I advise him. I say, I'm telling you in advance. I'm not trying to discourage you, but I want to make it. I want to keep it very real for you. And by the way, if any of you watching this video, you find that what I'm saying makes sense, please hit that like button. Really appreciate that. So like when you when you come in, sometimes you set aside the time. Have you ever set aside time to trade, but when you maybe you got off work early, or you decided to I think one of you just by clicking the like, you accidentally unliked your like. So give me a like if you find that this makes sense. So sometimes you set aside time. You want to trade, and it's like, oh, today I've got 1 hour. It's going to be a blast. Yesterday I didn't have much time. I got some good trades in, but today I set aside 1 hour and come in. Market sucks. What do you do? So when you come in at a time, I've been waiting to do this all day, but the market's not moving. What can I do? What can I do? And you start to break your methods. You start to break your trading rules. You start to break your risk management strategy, and before you know it, that day you lost 20%. And the next, and you feel really angry and sad and disappointed and frustrated, and maybe you don't even be able to drive for the rest of the day in a good mood. Maybe you can't root to your customers, you get a worse rating. Not very good. So I have to warn you again and again and again. So but if you can, okay, if you can, let's look at the flip side. I just like to start with the negatives, because when I start you based on the negative mentality, okay, then then you can be more aware of yourself. But now let's start looking at the good side to binary option. When you're aware of all these things that can possibly go wrong, what if it went right? Okay, if you're telling yourself, "Wow, that will not be me." Discipline, I got discipline. I got loads of discipline. Strategy, I can stick to rules. Well, I stick to rules in driving all day. I stick to rules of good conduct that my driving company gives me all day. So I definitely can follow rules. I never stop in the wrong zone. I never pick up passengers in the wrong zone. I drop them off where I'm supposed to, not in areas that are not marked, and try to get away with it. And if that is you, and if you can filter and trade properly, did you know that every time you trade, if you trade 2%, binary, it will pay you a little bit less than 2%. So every 2% that you put on out there, maybe when you win the trade, you get back 1.6, 1.7%, which is pretty good. Because 5 times 1.6, that's already 8% profit. So a net win of 5 trades placed at 2% each, that's already an 8% profit. So, yeah, exactly. The questions that you asked is not outside of this topic. I'll take it at the very end. So just hang on for that, because that is not this topic. This topic is about trading for people who drive. All right. So just hang on. I'll get to that at the very end. So, where was I? So I was saying that, okay, if you can keep a hold of yourself, trading where you should, and on the days that market is great, just like when you're getting a lot of customers in your driving applications, whether it's Uber, Grab, Gojek, Lyft, or whatever, and you think, okay, today I'm going to put in 2 more hours. Same. So on that one day, maybe you can get 30% in trading. It's possible. It's easy in binary. But on a bad day, if you can tell yourself, okay, it's just like, oh, today it's raining. Today it's raining. I'm not going to drive. Or I don't want to get my car wet. I don't want to get accidents. Or I don't want a traffic jam. I'd rather take a break today. It's the same thing. If you have the same mindset in driving, you take it over to trading binary options, I think you'd be set. You'd be making a lot of money. And we should speak. So send me a send me a friend's request to my private Facebook, as well as a message, so I know what your question is about. I will not be accepting your friend request because my friends is quite full, but because your friends is coming, I'll be able to see your messages. I'll be able to answer you and help you, clarify your idea of which is a better route for you to do. Okay, and then the next thing is, let's say with Forex, some people say, well, can I do both? Yes, you can. If you have the capital to do both, you can do both simultaneously. I had questions saying like, someone said, oh, wow, that's true. I probably don't have the time. At the end of a long day of driving, I probably want to, just rest. So I'm not sure if I can do that. So maybe either Forex, doing some longer term trades, or maybe like doing some automated trading would be good. Well, that's fine, because in fact, Forex, the way I like to teach it, I just teach people to look at the higher time frames. If you're driving all the time, 15 minutes chart is not even good, because you're going to have to feel that, hey, you want to look in every hour or so, and then that could be a little bit of stress. But if you look at an hour's chart, you could check at the start of your shift and end of shift, check it again. And, if you budgeted yourself properly for your trade sizing, you're going to get an overnight surprise, because if you already budgeted a certain amount, then it's pretty much set and forget. Okay, and now it's Q&A time. Let me answer your questions. How do you earn money from binary options? You earn money from binary options by making the trade of the correct direction. So at the end of the day, whether we're doing Forex or binary, we are speculating. Okay? Speculating is a nicer word of punting. Punting is a nicer word of gambling. So the only thing different from when we trade binary or Forex to people who bet on soccer is that we have a lot of tools that we can use to make good analysis to help us make a good decision. It's trend lines, Fibonacci ratios, moving averages. There are like cycle indicators, oscillators, so many, like divergences. I use a lot of divergence and convergence in my trading. I find it's great. It's very, very useful. Do I use a system? Well, I have my own systems. I'm very good at designing strategies. So this actually, for those of you who read my Forex blog, and I highly recommend that you do, is the forexlab.net. So recently I started. I actually, I believed I should have done this on binarylab.net for a long time ago, but I didn't. So right now I'm gonna basically revamp up the site, and they're gonna start putting out some content like I do on the forexlab.net. So initially I was gonna hire some writers to do it, but I mean the drafts are all garbage. So in the end I'm writing it myself. Yeah, so I'm writing it myself, but you like the articles, right? So have you checked it out? Um, all very practical stuff. No icing around the cake, no roundabout stuff. You just check it. The forexlab.net, the binarylab.net, the forexlab.net. If you go to /blog, you can see a lot of this stuff. And I have a post on divergence. I think you will love that. And I have a couple of videos. If you're looking for ways to trade, you can check out you can Google my YouTube channel on RSI, trading at RSI. I have some good videos on that. And also between forex and binary, I wouldn't say one is better than the other, but it really depends. If you are like a very low patience, very urgent person, then binary is definitely the one. But if you want to kind of drag things out, did you know that actually it's also possible to get like 9 to 15% a day in forex, just with like 2% risk per trade? It's possible. Because in the methods that I teach in forex, the manual methods, okay, the manual methods are actually more profitable. Okay, I have a post in the forexlab.net/blog. I had a post that says, "Is manual or automated trading more suitable for you?" I highly recommend that any of you watching this video go and read that post. Basically, the gist of it, I've talked about several things. I've also asked several questions over there to help you decide which is better. But among the general gist is that, like in manual forex trading, you can also make a lot of money. A lot of people don't know this. You can actually make uh, quite a nice amount of profit within very low time commitment. So maybe time commitment, I'm looking at about 30 minutes spread throughout a whole day. All right. So maybe you like 15 minutes in the morning, or maybe 20 minutes in the morning, and 10 minutes at night, just to monitor. Okay. 20 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, 5 minutes at night, just to monitor. That's actually okay. um, Signals are generally garbage if you don't. Most people I know, or most people who have joined my groups, have always gave me the feedback that they have been very disappointed. They've lost money from signals. And even in my group, actually, we do kind of have signals, but it's a different kind of signals. It's actually more like case study. So in my group, I used to do this myself, but I've outsourced it to an analyst that I've trained. He's my cousin actually. So I trained him in every London. He'll basically be doing like binary trades case studies. So you see that, look at the Euro USD for a channel crossing trade setup. Look at the USD CHF for a reversal on the M1. Look out for a breakout on this one. So I have different strategies that he's familiar with, and basically, he'll alert the people in the Telegram chat what trade is it we're looking to do, and then after the trade is finished, he will put a screenshot so that you can know what is the entry point that he had. Is it the same as the one that you got? So that's way to confirm that you understand the method correctly. Sometimes, of course, they'll be losing trades as well, but this also serves to tell you that, well, even if someone is expert at the method, they also can lose, and they took the trade at the same point as you. So you did not misjudge. You did everything you possibly could have done, but it's just that the market that let you down. So sometimes when you lose a trade, if you did everything right, but you still lose, it's because the market let you down, or the market didn't vibe with that trade at that point of time. Now coming over to like forex, same thing. I used to be doing like daily videos, like a very condensed 5 minute to 15-minute video, talking about all the possible setups for that day. Strategies I like to do, like trend continuations, breakouts, supply demand reversals, and now my cousin does that as well. So he posts in the group a bunch of screenshots. Screenshots are easy to see. He marks out the entries and all that, and you can just basically do it. So like if you like okay, and over time you also probably notice that I have my automated systems that I've produced, and I use a lot. See, maybe you see that a lot of my videos are also about automated trading. Well, that's because like the way I am, I tend to I tend to be super focused on like one thing at a time. And that's also why I kind of like train staff to take over certain roles so I can do certain things more. So automated trading is very important that you understand how the system works. Like if you go to the forexsite.net, you go to the page that says Forex Managed Accounts, go to click on that one because it's going to show you like I have about 2 or 3 videos that explain the idea behind the strategy and also some demonstrations of how the strategy works at critical points of the trade. So for example, like hedging, um, when will it stop selling and go into the buy? Okay, or when will it start to recover on the buy and take profit on the sell? All this is covered over there. How does the scalping algorithm work? On what basis? Like, are we possibly gonna be going against the market for a period of time, or we're only gonna go in at opportune times? So these things are covered in the videos on the site. So I highly recommend you check it out. Lastly, okay, some of you watching this video, it may be information overload, or perhaps you may not be getting answers to all the questions that you like. Send me a Facebook friend request to my private Facebook profile that I'm going to be updating in the video description. Um, I do not accept all friend requests, and it doesn't mean that I don't like you or anything like that, but it's just because my Facebook profile space is very limited. But when you send me a friend request, it will make the messages that you send me appear so that when I click on your name and the button that says message, all your previous messages will appear and then I can give you voice reply. Lastly, I want to warn you guys about scammers and imposters. There's so many people that try to impersonate me on Facebook all the time. So when you click on the personal Facebook profile, just check that it's the one exactly in the video description. Don't try to get it from anywhere else. There's sometimes there can be people who try to tag you in a comment and try to leave it some other place or ask you to WhatsApp some other place. So I'm just saying that this is the way of contact. So just do it this way. You will not be led somewhere else. um, so on my Facebook profile, you can see that I have 12,000 followers, my personal profile, and the account is over like 10 years old. So that's mine. The scammer's profile is probably only like 2 months old, 1 month old, or like the very most like 1 year old. So that's how you know that it's me and not someone else. And finally, you can also determine that it's me because when you ask me a question, then please give me, let's type some question there. Like don't just send a friend request without typing anything because I don't know I don't know what it's for. I may even delete it. So send me a friend request with a message, like preferably with some question that you like me to answer, and then I can voice message you back. Okay, I love voice messaging because number one, it's me, it's not someone else. You're familiar the way I speak. As the I have certain habits in my speech pattern, and that's not something that some scammer can pick up overnight. Okay, and the way I answer questions, it's just it's the usual way of answering questions, like the way I talk in videos. The other thing is that I can answer a lot more freely because if I have to type it, sometimes I cannot type as fast as I think, or my hands get tired, and I can do it on the go. So I love voice messaging, and finally, it's able to give you very personal answers to identify what is it you want. So just a quick sum up: is forex trading or binary options more suitable for you? Really depends on you. You can give both a shot, but I've already laid out as to why binary is more profitable in a very short period of time. Uh, but depending on your daily time schedule and whether your mind is sharp enough and focused enough to do binary, maybe you may like forex better. But anyways, give it a shot. If your discipline keeps up, binary options can be very profitable for you. You could be doubling your money every month or every 2 weeks. Or if you want to be very humble, double your money every 2 months, which is also fine. In Forex, you're not going to be getting that, but in Forex, you're probably going to be getting about 10%, 20% per month, and that's probably quite decent, depending on your time commitment, of course. And what I mentioned, 10-20% will be generally automated trading, and maybe with a little bit of manual trading thrown in, then you can have about 25-30%. All right, so basically that's that, and you're most welcome to ask me any questions that you have on this topic to clarify things a little bit further with you. Bye for now.